Well, good morning, everyone. Dan coming on for a Friday morning devotion for Clontarf Beach Baptist Church. Hope you guys have had a good week, and this morning I want to continue sharing on a little series I've been doing on what drives you, what's the driving force in your life. And this morning I want to talk on the fact that some people are driven by resentment and anger. So a lot of the time we can make decisions based on the fact that our resentment and our anger drives all of our decisions. So some people hold on to hurts and they never let them go. Instead of releasing them through forgiveness, rehearse it over and over again in your mind, and it just becomes all-consuming. And some people who have resentment, they clam up, they internalize their anger, and other people they blow up. They explode onto people. Neither of these are helpful or positive thing to do. Sometimes clamming up can lead to blowing up, and it's not healthy. Everyone's guilty of doing this at some stage or another, but it's not it's not the best way to do things. A lot of the time I think that the general tendency is to think, well, by holding on to my resentment and anger, I'm somehow hurting that person that's hurt me. And the fact is, it's just not true. Actually, by holding on to this resentment, you're hurting yourself. It's been famously said that unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And it sounds pretty extreme, but it really is true. I know for a few years I held on to unforgiveness and resentment, and all it did was make me bitter, and that didn't achieve anything except for the fact of dragging my life backwards. While your offender has probably forgotten what they've done to you and they've moved on, here you are stewing in your own pain, in your own bitterness, in your own poison. And it could be parents that have hurt you. It could be a wife or husband. It could be friends. Whoever it is, we need to let go of resentment because it doesn't do us any good. Your past is your past. You can't change it. It's made you who you are today, but learn from it and move on. That's the best thing we can ever do. Job 5 verse 2 says, to worry yourself to death with resentment would be a foolish thing to do. And it really is that. It really is foolish, and yet we all seem to do it so often. And so, Jesus calls us in the Bible to forgive and to let it go. And a lot of time I've had people say, well, I've asked Jesus to take it from me, but he just hasn't taken it from me. This pain, this bitterness, this resentment. And the fact is, in my experience, Jesus never takes anything off you. He waits for you to give it to him. Jesus, of course, he's God. He can do whatever he likes, but he doesn't operate like that. He doesn't force us ever to do anything. He always waits for us to give it to him. And so if you actually choose that I'm going to give it to God, I'm going to let go and say, God, take this from me, I'm giving it to you, it's a very different stance as to, Lord, take it from me, but I can't let it go myself. Jesus is waiting there to take it from you if you give it to him. And it's not just something you do once, it's something you do every day. If it pops up again, do it again, give it back to God, and you'll find that you're set free. I've personally experienced being set free from the burden of resentment and unforgiveness, and it's literally like a weight lifting off your shoulders. So I'm going to pray for you guys now, for those who struggle with this. Heavenly Father, I lift up anyone watching and anyone who does suffer from resentment and bitterness and unforgiveness, Lord, harbouring anger, Lord, I pray that you would help them to be set free from that, that you would be able to give them the strength to let it go and give it to you, Lord, and move on with their life so that they can have a purpose-driven life, a purpose that is far greater than being driven by resentment or anger, Lord. I ask that in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Thanks for listening this morning, And again, I encourage you guys to join on Facebook Live for our service. Now this Sunday morning it's 8:30. We have a special members meeting afterwards, so we move the service to 8:30. So it won't be 9:30. It's an 8:30 service on Facebook Live and in person if you want to come along. And our 6 p.m. service is on live as well as in person at the church. And yeah, the 6 p.m. service will be changing to 5 p.m. beginning of October for operational reasons. So get that in mind, and thanks guys, have a good weekend. See you later.